Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along. How are we all doing? It is Taco Tuesday once again with Formula Racing League. It is the final round. We are at Nurburgring. Qualifying is well underway. A couple of technical issues bringing you the feed at the moment. So what I'm going to do, unfortunately, I have to change some wires that are away from the microphone. So what I'm going to do is bring up some of the upcoming and ongoing events for Formula Racing League while I try and work some magic in the background. Just bear with me a few seconds and yeah, we'll see if we can get this working. Good evening, folks. Apologies for the delay. Thank you for anybody that has hung in there. A few technical issues, unfortunately, once again, with the PS5 broadcasting systems and softwares we have at our disposal. Unfortunately, but we will crack on. The drivers are well and truly into the qualifying session. It is damp, there's plenty of rainfall. It's a final round, it's 90 minutes, and the drivers have got 2 mandatory pit stops to take during the race. It's R10 leading the way at the moment, with Arms in second, Milden, our championship leader by 13 points. He is in third, Ollie RSR in fourth, Supercat Ray in fifth, Renville in sixth, Jetpack and Nebula seventh, FRL Hutch in eighth, Andy Crane ninth, and Boot Kick is in 10th position, a new driver in the league. Then you have your vote in, fresh out. I hope he did. Oh, there was no podcast last week, that's right. I hope he still gets his Alien of the Week nomination. Let me sure that's coming out okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Red Ken Racing back this week, missed last week, good to see him back out on track in the BMW. We've got High Grade B, who's just been overtaken actually. Rob 2K moving up a position there as well. Lamaro's got some support in the chat. Good evening, Gatecrasher, how you doing? Arnie Noir in 18th, Cool Racing, and want Ferrari still to set times. But at the moment it is, as you can see, it's Milden leading the championship with Jetpack and Nebula in second, Rob 2K in third, not far off the pace, Cool Racing in fourth, and Art Corner currently in fourth, he's in fifth position. Ollie and Arms, Supercat Ray, FRL Hutch and Kaja Tacos rounding out the championship top 10. I'll bring that back on the screen in between the race again. Apologies for the delay in the start. The drivers certainly not been affected by technical issues at this end. Some very quick times going in. Milden now up to second. He's got himself between Arms and Corner. Renville, Ollie Racing, Andy Cray in the pits, so is High Grade B. Cool Racing in the pits as well, so we won't get a time from him. 20 drivers taking part this evening around the Nurburgring, one of the older circuits in the world, 927. This little beauty put together, of course, an attempt by Germany. The Tyres was not impressed at the number of Le Mans that were being run by Ferrari on Ford as well, so put together a national racetrack to try and get the Germans back up to the top driving timing boards, and it came up with this little beauty. And of course, attached there on the left, as you see, corner come through the final corner, attached to the Nordschleife. Yeah, certainly an interesting stretch of tarmac. Definitely, it doesn't go any quicker. Definitely a marmite in the motoring world. So Connor crosses the line, doesn't go any quicker. Arms won't go any quicker either, by the look of it. And Milden still at the track, just coming down towards Advan Bogan, all out in RSR. Just getting started on this lap actually, so he's got a bit of time to go. Jetpack and Nebula. His average qualifying position 5th this season. 5 trips onto the podium, despite qualifying fairly far down the order in comparison to some of his championship rivals. Although to be fair, yeah, Arms really just slightly better qualifying. So he's had a really good qualifying this series. Just not quite getting the race finishes. So we'll see what Jetpack and Nebula does, although yeah, Milden's crossed the line and hasn't gone any quicker. Let's see what the Nebula can do. He's just, oh, okay, he's still got a fair bit of track to go actually. Looking at that, he's just coming down towards Advan Bogan now. So we'll have that final chicane. All the RSR is coming into the NGK now, so you'll finish ahead. Really throwing the Bentley over those curves. 9/10 off the pace. Can he get any quicker? 1:59.997. Very respectable time in these these conditions does go quicker, not enough to improve on Jetpack or Nebula has, in fact, not neutralised is not the word I'm looking for. Sorry, I'm still a bit thrown by the technical stuff. But yeah, he has invalidated his lap, so he is going to start in 7th. So it is Art Connor who's taken that top spot. Milden in 2nd, Arms in 3rd, Ollie Racing in 4th, and Ollie RSR in 5th place. There we go. Let me just do that. We'll have a look at the timetables. And again, there we go. Love to see it. 3 purple sectors split between 3 drivers. And it is the top 3. Connor in Sector 1, Milden in Sector 2, and Arms in Sector 3. Only 2.5 tenths separating the top 3. And then a big gap of almost 6 tenths, in fact, between 3rd and 4th. All the racing being that driver in 4th, as I mentioned. Supercar Ray, Jetpack or Nebula. Butch Tech, that's as far as we'll go with that one. Want Ferrari and FRL Hutch, the top 10 then. And it's Renville, Andy Cray, Elysium, Rob 2K and Oulton, 11th through to 15th, 3 seconds off the pace. How changeable is the weather going to be during the race though? It is a 90-minuters. The drivers do have a bit of a fallback though, for being honest. They've got 2 mandatory pit stops to take tonight. Yeah, the weather could actually play into the hands of the pit stop strategy rather than being a hindrance. Red Ken, oops, we've got fuel. How did I manage that? There we go. Red Ken is in 16th, Lamaro in 17th, High Grade B in 18th, and Arnie Noir in 19th position. No time set by Cool Racing, so he will start from the back of the 20-car grid. There's Art Connor's car. Let's bring up this at the moment. Of course, lots on for FRL at the moment. Oh, there is still a car running on track there. Just pop that down a bit. The mixed Sundays, PS4 and PS5. Got GT4s on a Thursday as well. And there's PC racing over on the Twitch channel as well. So if you can, get yourself over, get the dual screens on, although where have they gone? There they are there. So yeah, I'll pop the link in the chat for the Twitch channel. So oh no, it won't, because it won't let me. There we go. Phenomenal stuff. Right, let me just grab this here. Where is Nurburgring? There we go. Excellent. So yeah, so there's the link in the chat for the Twitch channel. So yeah, jump over there, give them a follow over there as well. You can see there's their monthly Enduro GT3 as well. That's on Saturdays, that run, late night racing. Sundays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Get yourself involved. And of course, the alternate and rotating alternation of the PS5 TNT leagues as well. So plenty of action to get yourself involved in. We are certainly going to see plenty of action here tonight, that is for sure. The Nurburgring, phenomenal racetrack. Can't speak highly enough of this one. It used to be a bit of a pet hate of mine, this one. When you learn to drive it, incredible track. 3.1 miles long. Last changed back in 2003. It's seen quite a few facelifts over the years. I have to say the Mercedes Arena, definitely one of my favourite additions to the track. It certainly keeps things interesting through turn number 1, the old Castroless. Not really quite cutting it. It is affectionately known as the Green Hell, although that's really safe for the North-South part, and it's safe to say that is most definitely the Green Hell. Jackie Stewart, of course, the driver that first coined that phrase way back when, and it is certainly stuck. Evening, John, how are you? Michael, I'm okay, but more technical issues with the PS5. We do love it, so keeping me on my toes, but we are running. And yeah, we should see some good racing tonight. Yeah, Milden in that second place. As we can see, the track is already wet, 9 degrees as well, so the drivers really are going to have their work cut out for them, getting those tyres up to temperature and then indeed keeping them there. Going to be a lot easier said than done, that is for sure. But we'll see, did we just lose someone? Someone's just disconnected. We've gone from 20 down to 21, not sure what's happened there. Hopefully they can get back in. It's whoever took pole position. Connor's disconnected. Okay. Ooh, PC dispatch today. Michael, please feel absolutely free to bombard the chat with the info. What graphics card processor? Hit me with those details, big fella. Getting a bit loud compared to my voice. Let's just pop that down a bit. Maybe a bit more. Let me know how those volumes are. Although now I've said that, I'm suddenly talking a lot louder. But yeah, let me know how the volumes are. But Michael, please, like I say, feel free to chuck the details in the chat. Are you going straight for ACC? I can honestly strongly recommend Raceroom. Yeah. Remind me what car you like to drive, because if you like driving the Ferrari or the McLaren, you will love the F4s. But yeah, chuck some details in the chat. You see the drivers on the warm-up lap. Connor has been disconnected. He's managed to reconnect to the server, but he's going to start in 20th position after setting that pole. So something has gone wrong someplace, and that is really going to wreak havoc, especially with the gap. He's got 79 points back. I can't open Discord to see what's going on there, unfortunately, because it'll crash remote play for some reason. I don't know why. Remote play, Sony and Discord are having a little argument. Sony just bought Discord, so I don't know if there's some kind of integration issue with the software that they tried with the last remote play update. But yeah, certainly Elgato capture cards and PlayStation remote play, not big fans. An iPhone and processor. Yeah. 1 terabyte HDD, 256 SSD, 3060 card. Nice. Oh, Floppy Fox, of course. I'm so terrible with remembering so many names. Once you bother me, what to do is go straight to a YouTube streamer called Linus Tech Tips. And learn how to very quickly get the HDD out of there, bud. That will. So the thing is with the HDD, it will bottleneck your entire system, even if you're just using it as a backup, because that runs so slowly. So for that price, that's a good PC, but definitely get that HDD out of there, because it says 1 terabyte. Yeah, your 256 gig SSD, that's great for running, but the HDD, so you can swap that out even for a standard SSD. You'll get one reasonably cheap, but honestly, those things run so slowly, they will bottleneck the entire thing. But yeah, as well, as soon as you do it, make sure you hit me up. Yeah, even just leave that one SSD to run your operating system, and then buy a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte one. You can install yourself. There we go, though, green lights, and we are away. And I tell you what, who else is away? It's Arms. He's got an absolute flyer out of the blocks. He's going to lead into turn number 1. Ollie Racing has been overtaken by Ollie RSR and Supercar. No, he's got a couple of cars. That's actually Jetpacker Oh, and we've got a car down. That's no, it's not Milden. That is a Bentley. It's Ollie RSR. He's tumbling down the order. You can see there's an absolute gaggle of cars up ahead of him. I believe one of them might be Red Ken racing in the BMW. It is. So he's made up quite a few places there right at the start. FRL Milden still leading the way. Arms now down into third. Jetpacker Nebula. He's jetpacked his way off that start line. Absolutely phenomenal drive there he's got in the Porsche. He's all the way up into second already. Race on for the title decider between these two. Arms in third place. Ollie racing in fourth, I think. We'll see. Yep, the timing boards are just going to very quickly update, so we'll let them do their crazy thing. We're on board with Ollie RSR at the moment. He went deep into turn number one, and again into the hairpin. Really not getting the grips for how wet the track is. And he's about overtaking up the inside, takes a bit of contact from Art Corner, who of course disconnected from the server. He's now all the way back up to 13th. In fact, that's him up to 12th position already. Let's have a check up at the front now. Ollie racing in fourth place. Arms in third. Jetpack and Nebula in second. And Milden 1.4 seconds ahead. In first place, Hutch got himself boots tick all over the back of him coming into Advan Bogan for the first time in Baskin Renville in the Lexus. Not too far behind, he's defended from Andy Cray and Rob 2K as they come into the final chicane. Let's see if the Lexus can close the gap. Very good in the wet. We can see just ahead actually through the chicane. It's Hutch who has the BMW. He's got the Ferrari closing in. Oh, there's a car off track there. I should recognise that logo. Is that Ollie Racing? It is indeed then. So he's run off on the exit of the NGK into the Coca-Cola curve, and he's found himself coming back on though. Hasn't managed to maintain. He is still in 7th position. Got the Ferrari having a late look up the inside. Won't be anything doing there, or gets it on the apex indeed. And Ollie Racing runs very deep into turn number one and gives up that position then. So it is the Ferrari of Butch Tech making their way through. Ollie Racing now down in 8th, then Hutch just ahead. Oh, and there's another runway. This one is a Ferrari. It's one Ferrari through the Mercedes arena. Runs deep in the second phase of that corner. And Supercar Ray has made his way through. And Butch Tech is now going to say thank you very much and make his way past there as well. Another overtake then. So Butch Tech having an absolute flyer of a start to lap number 2. Milden 2 seconds ahead of Jetpack and Nebula in second. Arms in third. One Ferrari in fourth place. Supercar Ray in fifth. Hutch in 6th position. Ollie Racing in 7th. Was there there is a change of position there. Supercar Ray on the way into the hairpins made a mistake, and that is... He's not making the way through. That is Hutch made his way through, and I tell you what, Butch Tick's on for another. Oh, the Ferrari just holds on. Another Ferrari. Oh, tell you what, that is very close. Very close. A lot of sideways action. He's going to tumble down the order. Butch Tick, after all that good work at the start of the lap, now finds himself well down the order behind a battling pack, to say the least. Although there is Supercar Ray, I believe, just coming back on. He's run off in Warsteiner. Yes, that was Warsteiner before Advan Bogan, so he's run off. He's managed to come back on. We've got a Bentley now losing momentum through Advan Bogan. The Ferrari Butch looking to retake a position back again, then finds himself in 11th place now, right on the back of Art Corner with Supercar Ray. Just ahead, bit of a gap. Ahead with to Renville, Andy Cray, Ollie Racing, one Ferrari still all in the hunt. Hutch 4th, Arms in 3rd, Jetpack and Nebula in 2nd. He has closed up slightly on Milden. 2.6 seconds is that gap, so not much closure there at all. You're Oulton in the pits, and hopefully that's an early strategy. I've been impressed with Supercar Ray. He's a teammate of mine in another league. Oh, nice, has improved a lot. I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, curse to the spectator there. So yeah, you need to send him an apology message, and yeah, alright, yeah, no, I'm not going to, yeah, I'm going to crack a couple of jokes here, but leave it low. You Oulton, hopefully, taking his pit stop, well, he is pretty stationary at the minute. Art Corner, he started in 21st position, and now finds himself up at the 10th after taking that pole, so heartbreaking start for him, but he's definitely making the most of it. Andy Cray has got Renville Supercar rating Art Corner to defend from along with Butch Tick, and we know that he's got pace, so some drop down the order. Rob 2K, Ollie RSR, and Cool Racing as well. Cool starting from the back row of the grid as well, so he is up 6 places himself. Very stretched out up at the front. 2.8 seconds between first and second, and almost equilibrious 3 and a bit seconds between second and third, and then again almost bang on equilibrious gaps between second and third and fourth. That is Hutch, and then Hutch leading the train. Want Ferrari, Ollie Racing, Andy Cray, Renville, Supercar Ray, Art Corner, Butch Tech, Rob 2K, Ollie RSR, Cool Racing, all very close indeed. Red Ken got a nice bit of track in front of him, but he is defending from Elysium in the Porsche. Arne Noir trying to close it back up there. Lamaro in 18th position in the Jag. Oh, there's a car down. There is somebody dropping down the order. Who's that? High grade B. Volton is back out on track. Doesn't have. Still got 2 ticks there. I wonder what's going on. So he hasn't fulfilled any of his mandatory requirements on that trip into the pits there, unfortunately. So hopefully that wasn't a purely damaged, inspired stop. Connor fighting his way through. He's got championship points up for grabs. He knows he needs to take. Michael Races in the chat. How are we doing? Let's go, Jetpack. I tell you what a start he got. Qualified in 7th and made his way to 2nd in the first 2 turns. Phenomenal stuff. Really, really, really incredible start. He is fallen by the wayside compared to Milden's pace at the moment. Very long race. The track is going to get wetter for at least the next 15 minutes. An hour and 22 minutes still to go. 2 mandatory pit stops still to take. Ollie Racing and Want Ferrari still trying to hunt down Hutch. He was gifted a couple of positions with a few run wides early doors. Art Corner looking to get an overtake done on Butch Tech in 9th place. We've seen Butch up and down the order so far. The Ferrari driver very good in the wet so far, but he now finds Renville just ahead of him. Easy mode in the Merc. It is. The Merc is an absolute cheat car. The way it goes over curbs is just, it's absolutely scandalous. Scandalous. I do like to give Mercs and Bentley drivers a bit of a hard time, but yeah, the Merc is the easy option. Real drivers drive the Ferrari. I drive the Ferrari. There's the coincidence. I'm not biased. Connor, he's definitely not biased at the moment. He's in that Aston Martin. A great endurance car, that Aston, obviously since they nerfed the petrol tank on the Bentley. It's kind of fallen by the wayside, the new BMW. Certainly the flavour of choice on the PC at the moment. The Aston's still a great all-rounder at the moment. Connor, after taking pole position, disconnecting and rejoining. Oh, he's coming to the pits. He doesn't fancy the battle. So he's going to get his first mandatory pit stop done and out the way. Arne Noir in the pits as well. He's going to be a lap down, and there's Connor there. You vote in. My apologies. That should. Update. Let's hope it doesn't do that. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. How are you finding the PC, Michael? I noticed you were in the championship here, but obviously you've switched over. Boots getting close there. How are you finding the switch? Corner still in the pit. Cool Racing coming in the pits as well. He started in 20th. Oh, and he's gone ahead of Connor as they come out the pits. Then Connor in for quite some time there. He can't be taking on that much fuel, surely. No! Oh no, don't crash, please. I wasn't nervous, you were. Wet race, stay out as long as possible. Any chance of it drying up? At the moment, Ash, it is completely variable weather. As you can see up at the top of the screen, it says for the next 15 minutes, the rain will get heavier. But we've got an hour and 20 minutes of racing left to go, so get yourself 6 dice, throw them at the wall, and yeah, PC is much better. Hopefully PS5 is better after the update. Yes, we need to at least put spectator cam in, because it's, yeah, it's not easy trying to keep track of all the action when you're using chase car. I'm not going to lie. Having to learn what the cars look like from the back exclusively, especially last week it was dark. So it was very much a case of guessing the tail lights. But yeah, they need to catch up. They've got the technology, it's in there. It's a 20 series card in the PS5s, so it can definitely run ACC. They need to get the 2.0 update in there. And yeah, get it up and running. I'd be staying out, only doing fuel first stop. Right, okay. So I would, see, here's the thing, I would do fuel second stop, because I've always been, but I'm slow, by the way. So here's, ooh, is that a lookie in the Mercedes? Oh no, it's not. Oh, he's close, he's close. I've always been, but I'm slow, like I say, but I've always been a believer in running the car as light as possible for as long as possible. So I would like stay out for as long as possible on the one tank of fuel, so that when I came in, you know what I mean, so the average weight of the car over the whole race was lower. Is that, yeah, that makes sense to me, sort of thing. So yeah, that's the kind of strategy I run, but then I don't win races, so not sure my opinion on it counts. But yeah, what we're thinking, Michael Races, you're quite quick. What is your two-stop strategy for 90 minutes round the Nurburgring? I mean, in these conditions, the track temperature's actually dropped a degree to 8 degrees in the wet, so the tyres are going to be like absolute ice. They're going to really need to be working to get them nice and warm. Make sure hit the thumbs up, guys watching. Oh yeah. If you are watching, guys and gals, do feel free to fire in the thumbs up and the subscribe. Ring that bell to get all the notifications. There's also a Twitch channel as well, so if you do find yourself venturing into the land of Twitch, there we go. There is the Twitch link. They're actually live over there just now, so pop over and say hello there too. I'd be fueling long, stopping early to top off in tyres later on. Right, okay. So there we go, Ash. Wet tyres can do 90 minutes, so 2 splash and dash ain't out of the question. I suppose the wet tyres do last a lot longer. Ooh, Renville runs a bit deep there, that's the lip booch. Close that gap significantly then. Ollie RSR still hanging on the back of Rob 2K, and Elysium has just got his way past one Ferrari, who's had a bit of a pig's ear on the way into Mercedes Arena, and he has pulled over unfortunately. So Elysium making his way through for one Ferrari. Is that some kind of technical issue? Hopefully not. But he has pulled over completely stationary. Potential changes over the front, the two Lexus, or Lexi, no idea if that's even a thing, Andy Cray and Renville. The Lexus is very good in the wet, and it's certainly proven to be the case for these two at the moment, up to 4th and 5th. Masterville display by Milden in the Mercedes first, Jetpack and Medley the second, Arms in third. Then it is the Lexi of Cray and Renville. Butch in that Ferrari, and Supercar Ray in the Ferrari. Oh, we've just lost a driver, it would appear. 18 on track out of 21 that started, and is that Want Ferrari? It is Want Ferrari then. So unfortunately it does look like he's had some kind of technical issue there. How do you do that? GT Jamie cheering on Jetpack Nebula as well. So he's definitely getting the love. Of course, we've got Lamaro fans. Oh, and that's not how to take the Schumacher S, and Supercar Ray does take the Schumacher S, and that is again in position for him. So Butch certainly, he's up and down the field. He's definitely got pace, but is prone to the odd mishap in the wet. Ollie RSR and Rob 2K. Still very close to Aston Martin, to Bentley there from this angle. Microphone here, 27 is dry, wet, 30. Oh, okay, sorry. Keeping tyres cool is king. If you get them 27.5 or so, you're spot on. Any more of the tyres will just shred themselves to bits. It's actually been that long since I've raced on ACC. I'm down on the Tyres, but yeah, you've definitely. I know it's definitely a bit different for the wet tyres. Red Ken, BMW on BMW action, looking to get his way past FRL's Hutch. You're Oulton back into pits. This is his second stop. Oh, and it is down to a 1, so that did count. R Connors has got a 1 as well. I was worried. I thought you Oulton had somehow come in the pits and hadn't been given credit for it. Hopefully. So yeah, this is his second and last stop. It definitely looks like he is a firm believer that this one is done and dusted as far as the wet goes. He's banking on it and not getting any drier now. If he's taking his second pit stop this early in the race, an hour and 13 minutes, so he can definitely do it on the tyres, and we'll just about have enough fuel. Although, yeah, no, it does. That still says 1. So he does still have another pit stop to take. Yeah, so I wonder what happened there then. I wonder what happened there. We'll maybe have to ask him tomorrow night on the podcast. Supercar Ray recently been gifted that position from Boots Tech. As I say, he's been up and down the order. Really now it's all about who's going to handle the wet better and who's going to come up with a better pit strategy. It doesn't look like the weather is going to change much in the favour of the drivers. I know we've still got an hour and 12 minutes to go, but that is a very wet track with a lot more rain still to come over the next 15 minutes. I can't really see this stopping and drying up in the next hour. Into the Mercedes arena though is the Ferraris that were still on board with Supercar Ray, trying to hunt down at the Payroll Lexus ahead of him. It would certainly be good. Oh, and that is the position gain for Supercar Ray. Surely he's got himself inside the grass. He would have went round the other side personally, but he does get onto the drainage. A little bit of contact on the end. The Ferrari gets unsettled down at the turn 5. He keeps that on the apex. Alexis got a bit of line over the Ferrari. I genuinely thought he was going to over-rotate. They're having 2 wheels on that curb in these conditions. It's safe to say it's a bit of Russian roulette of right there. Now that might have been an alliteration too far. They come into the hairpin and it's still Renville with the position. Manatory certainly won't be sad to see the battle behind him, as that has increased the gap that he has. Rob 2K still within half a second-ish of Ollie RSR Elysium trying to catch up on to the back then. You've Oulton in that arc corner. The only 2 drivers so far to have taken one of the mandatory pit stops, one of their mandatory pit stops, 2 of course for the next race. You've Oulton, that was the second trip into pits. So I'm not sure where it, oh, that's a bit of contact with the barrier there on the way down. And so I'm not sure if perhaps he went out with Quali fuel or he got a bit of damage. That is a position gain for Supercar Ray, and don't call him Shirley, name that film. That's the airplane. Yeah. What is the fuel quote? Well, yeah, it's the airplane. Remember, I'm 44, bud. So, yeah. I got that covered. Surely you can't be serious. I'm always serious. Don't call me Shirley. Absolutely can't be. Can Jetpack and Nebula beat Milden? This is the championship decided between these two. The ball is certainly in Milden's court. He's got a 13-point gap, sorry. 13-point gap in the championship. Let's get back on this battle then. Rob 2K is now. Oh, and just there we go. Ollie, oh, and that's him into the wall. You really do need to pump those brakes. It's one of those, if you're going to go off, you need to be on and off the brakes, on and off the brakes, and try and get some kind of grip. And that is all RSR tumbling down the order there. He was just about to catch up on the back of this battle between Butch and Supercar Ray. Let's see how far down the order Ollie has tumbled. Hopefully, he didn't pick up too much damage. We'll certainly find out here though, yep, down at the 12th. That is not good for him at all. Elysium, Hutch and Red Ken Racing all making their way through. Arms and Andy Cray separated by 7 seconds as Jetpack and Nebula and Arms are as well. FRL Milden comes out to complete lap number 9. Sorry, 10. I do apologise. Absolutely no shift in that weather radar up at the top. Track still holding at 8 degrees. Supercat Ray all over the back of Renfrew went out with the last corner. Viola Coca-Cola. Almost a great exit by Renfrew, leaving Cat Ray behind once again. Butch not far down the road, just Rob 2K. How many drivers actually? When I'm racing in the wet, one of the things I absolutely, definitely, 100,000,000% do is make sure I put my engine map down. I know some drivers, for some reason, don't. I think that's why we're seeing flashing lights on the back of some cars and not on the others. But is that something that other drivers do? I'm getting that crazy notification. That's so annoying. Apologies, bear with me 2 seconds. What's this first? Can't even remember the button to. There we go. Nope. Oh my goodness me. There we go, sorry. If we don't, for some reason, sitting in the pits, if we don't put the lights on, it still comes up with that one. The rest of the race, there we go. We're back up and running again. There was a question that asked before I was distracted. Why the lights? I'm sure someone in travel might keep it off. Trying to keep an eye on what's going on out here. Still no one else coming in the pits with an hour and 7 minutes left to go. Milden just building that gap at the moment. 5.8 seconds. Jetpack and Nebula though extending that gap to Arms as well, and Arms doing well to manage the gap between himself and Andy Cray, who's now got, thanks to the battle between Renville and Supercat Ray, he's got himself a bit of breathing space as well. Renville certainly not with the breathing space at the moment. Supercat Ray still within striking distance, especially in these conditions. Rob 2K, out the last chicane then, mistake by Rob 2K, Elysium and Hutch, both making their way through. Red Kent Racing could find himself promoted a position as well, although not maybe a little bit far down the road. That was a little bit close. I thought we would have been slightly closer into turn 1. But he won't, so more drops in position. Ollie RSR coming in to take the first of his mandatory 2 pit stops. Butch still very close to Supercar Ray. The 2 Ferraris following the 2 Lexus. The Audi, Porsche and Mercedes leading the way. Ollie taking that pit stop. Let's see where Connor's. So Connor's he's coming around the last corner. Ollie dropped down the order a couple of times. So Connor is going to get himself ahead of Ollie quite comfortably then. So he's definitely looking for a much better finishing position than his starting position, despite taking pole position. Did, as I say, started on the 11th row of the grid, 21st position. So he is on an absolute monster comeback drive. The joys of technology on that one, I'm sure. Pretty gutted, but he's keeping ahead well and truly in the game. Cool Racing trying to find his way past Lamaro. And I think he actually has done. Yeah, he has. Cool Racing again. Started at the back, he didn't set a lap time during qualifying. Well, Supercar Ray got close to that last time on board in the final chicane again. Neighbour driver comes into the pits going boldly using that left hand curb. Sorry, just a touch on that inside curb. The start finish line will go. Still Renville in 5th, Supercar Ray in 6th, Butch in 7th place. Milden, Jetpack and Nebula and the Arms still the top three though. That is 26 minutes in and still all we're seeing up at the top from the weather station. 15 minutes and the rain is still getting heavier and heavier. So the drivers could be... Oh, that was the engine maps. What engine maps did people use in the wet? That was... yeah, what I meant. That's what I was asking. Supercar Ray really does fancy the overtake down. There's Ollie Racing coming in to take the first of his two mandatory pit stops. Here Ferrari's still looking for that move then. Ollie into the pits. Pro Racing is already through. Art Corner closing the gap. Ollie RSR, a fair chunk down from Art Corner at the moment. You're Oulton bringing up the rear. Is he now? Oh yeah, here's another lap down, so that is going to iron out. That extra stop in the pits really has been massively detrimental for him. Ollie just losing that time there. I thought somebody changed the reason. Hudson closing in on Elysium then. Another one of the cars. Been gifted a position or two from others' mistakes. Had a bit of a wiggle himself. Back down into 9th. Certainly closing on Elysium. Boots closing on his fellow Ferrari driver. That is Boots and Supercar Ray coming into turn number 1. Renville in 5th. Andy Cray still in 4th, just ahead. He's now getting a bit of a bigger gap. Back to Renville. Renville trying to stretch away from Supercar Ray, managing it at the moment. Still plenty of racing to come. Ollie Art Racing is now into the pit. So yeah, it was Ollie RSR that was in a moment ago. There he is. 76 seconds down it says. We'll see what happens when that one updates. Let's see what the gap actually is. There's Ollie. He's taken his one of his mandatory pit stops. Connor, the lead driver, have lost number 2, got it down to number 1. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when he takes his second one. He'll just be looking to get as much clear track as possible in front of him. Try and make up as many places potentially through the pit stops rather than having to worry about on-track battles. Still very close between this Ferrari and this Lexus. The two of them very close indeed. Supercar Ray really is stalking. Renville has to be absolutely on his game here at the moment. He did see a slight wiggle before, and that really brought Supercar Ray right into it. All the racing still in the pits. Oulton should catch up. He's still a lap down. That's just increased to a 4 because the leaders have just gone across the line. Oh, there's Jetpack and Nebula then. He's come into the pits in second place. That's going to promote Arms, Andy Cray, Renville and the Gan. We'll stay on board. Renville being the 2 seconds. Very quickly blow the nose. And yeah, maybe take myself back on mute on the microphone and on the stream deck just in time to see Supercar Ray once again. All the way back, Ollie RSR, Ollie Racing, sorry, still in the pits. That's been quite some time. Butch, he's come in the pits. He was, of course, chasing down the Ferrari in front. Ferrari in front is most definitely chasing down the Lexus that he's been presented with. And they're now up to 4th and 5th with the drivers coming in to take their pits. So it'll be interesting to see where Butch comes back out. We'd expect Jetpack and Nebula. He's coming past the pit entrance now, so he'll definitely retain the lead as far as drivers that have taken their first pit stop go. Art Connor, how much of an actual charge on, he's coming past the pit entrance as well. So it does look like it's going to be close potentially between himself and Butch, depending on how much time Butch spends in the pit stop. Although maybe it's not going to be close. Shows what the commentator knows. Butch still very much stationary as Art Connor makes his way through. So that's a great drive by Art at the moment, although you'll have to wait and see. He's potentially a lap down, of course, with the way this all run. We'll see when he gets through the next timing delta. Milden now with an 18-second gap back to second since Jetpack or Nebula came into the pits. Butch back out at 9th, it says at the moment, ahead of Red Ken Racing. We'll see if that maintains that as they come through the next timing deltas again. There we go, yeah, he is dropping down the order as that comes through. Jetpack or Nebula, yep, he's definitely ahead. In fact, so is Red Ken Racing ahead as well. Red Ken just been passed by Jetpack or Nebula. These two not really in a battle because Red Ken's still got 2 pit stops to take. Jetpack or Nebula with the one mandatory left. High grade B. He's got himself right on the back of Cool Racing. Supercar Ray in 5th place. Again, looking very close to Advan Bogan, but out the last corner, not able to make any overtake stick. So he is still behind the Lexus. Connor just getting his way past Lamaro then. It does look like Ollie Racing is unfortunately out of the race. That's quite a while he's been in there. 11th in the championship as well, only 5 points behind Kaji Tacos, who isn't racing tonight. So could have found himself inside the top 10. The rest of the drivers inside the top 10 are all racing tonight. It's going to be close. Some very close finishing positions come the end of this one. There's Red Ken coming in with the BMW to take his first pit stop of the evening. Just over a third of the way in. And that is his first trip in. You volt in. It says he's 4 laps down. Obviously, he's taking a pit stop. So is Ollie RSR and Butch. Butch back out in 15th position. Ahead of Ollie, but behind Connor. So given that Butch was up inside the top 10, then Connor has definitely improved through this opening pit stop phase, through the first round of pit stops. I wonder if we'll see any of the drivers come in to take their second pit stop before we'll see anyone take their first. Definitely the potential with these cars to do so. We are going to see a break in the weather as well, perhaps. It does say 15 minutes from now the rain will stop increasing, if that makes sense. I hope so. There is a plus signs being removed from the 15-minute prediction. There you go. In fact, it's just been removed, so it's now a steady rainfall that we are dealing with. Andy Cray, the lead Lexus, comes into the pits and is very quickly passed by Renville and Supercar Race, so that's him up to 3rd. And that's difficult to see who that was. That's obviously did look a bit like a Lexus. Right, okay, so that's Red Ken Racing that just come out of the pits. So yeah, so a bit of blue flags going on there. Hopefully there wasn't any contact. Yeah, might need a bit of a clean up after the race, that's for sure. It did look a bit close there, but hopefully we did all avoid contact. It was just a bit of a fright. Yeah, into Warsteiner, Supercar race still looking to get past Renville, but he now does have yet into this Ken just getting out of the way. Nicely done indeed by both drivers. Bit spread out at the moment, 20 seconds, so Milton still stretching that gap out to Arms, but he knows that he needs to keep on pushing. Given the pace that Jetpack and Nebula was showing, certainly can't afford to ease up in any way, and yeah, definitely needs to be as smooth as he can, getting his pit stops completed. But yeah, it is Milden that is leading the way still. Arms in second, Renville third at the moment, with Supercar Ray now 2 seconds behind, so he has dropped back off there. Hutchin fifth, Rob in 6th, Elysium 7th, Cool Racing in 8th, and it's High Grade B in 9th. Jetpack and Nebula in 10th. The first 3 drivers to have taken the mandatory pit stop, Art Connor and Andy Cray. The other 2 then, it's Lamaro in 13th overall, 2 pit stops to take, and then you've got Butch, Ollie RSR, Red Chem Racing, and you've Oulton. They've all taken one of the 2 mandatory pit stops that they are required to as well. So yeah, so the same as the drivers in 10th, 11th and 12th. At the moment though, it's all really about when will Milden come in. He's got a healthy gap at the moment, and he's certainly got plenty of track ahead of him before he has to worry, although, just as I say that, a proper inspection of that map down below, you can see there is 2 cars very close to one another just ahead. That is your Oulton, and he's got someone, Butch, just behind them. So yeah, depending on how quickly he closes this up, there's your Oulton jumping out the way to let him through, because that was a blue flag. Supercar Ray's closed up now, he's got past Ken. He's closed back up on Renville once again. Are we going to see Milden's pit stop influenced by the drivers ahead? You would say it's probably about another lap or 2 before he catches up to the drivers ahead. Stays out, so he really is. Yeah, no, so he's not really is. Sorry, there's still 50. There's 50 minutes to go. They've only been on for 40 minutes, so yeah, plenty of time to take that pit stop, and he's certainly running the Mercedes petrol tank as dry as possible, by the looks of it, in his first stint. You've Oulton still laps down, still plenty of racing to go. Ken in 16th, Ollie in 15th, Butch in 14th, Lamaro 13th, Andy Cray in 12th, and Art Connor in 11th. Jetpack and Nebula 10th place, but is the lead driver to have taken that pit stop. He's certainly making the most of the track ahead of him. He's actually catching up to High Grade B, who's still got 2 to take. He's running a nice Cool Racing. We have seen into the pits, but didn't meet any of the mandatory requirements. So still got 2 there to take. Elysium, oh, he's off track. That's on the exit to the last chicane, going into the final corner. And Elysium in the Porsche. Cool Racing's going to close that gap massively then, you would expect. Arms in the Audi. He is still cruising, but that gap is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The rain has steadied. Will we see it lessen? Do we think the track might dry out before the end? I mean, yeah, with these track temperatures, you would think that would be a fairly difficult proposition. But certainly, stranger things have happened. So we'll have to wait and see. Just having a look down, it is pretty spread out at the moment, it has to be said. that's all really. Lamara's going to come in the pits. He's going to drop down a couple of places when he does. So it really is. Excuse me, about when these top drivers come in to take their pit stops. Of course, Arms and Jetpack and Nebula. That's going to be the interesting one. Milden, it's certainly not easing up the pace. He's still stretching that gap out to Arms, so you would suspect that he will maintain the lead over Jetpack and Nebula when he does come in to take that first stop. Again, will we see any of the drivers come in and take their second stop before any of these top guys take their first stop? Certainly with the weather now changing and the plus sign being removed, the potential for the rain to lessen could change some of the drivers' approach. Supercar Ray, he's come in then. 4th place, Hutch will come through. Renville got a bit of breathing space in his rear view mirror for the first time in quite a while. I'm sure he will be eternally grateful for that. Milden still flying 23.7, so he's still stretched. I did think it would be a lap or two. This is the second lap since we said that, or since I said that. And he does find himself closing up on the back of these two drivers, so it could be a good time to come in and take his pit. Supercar Ray and so is Elysium. High grade B coming through. Jetpack and Nebula at corner all going to make their way through. There is Andy Craig just coming into the final chicane. He's going to make it through as well. Will Butch actually. Supercar Ray, very quick stop. Oh no, he was in before Elysium, sorry. So Elysium really stopped with Supercar Ray. Definitely a good stop. Jetpack and Nebula already through the Mercedes arena along with Art Connor and Andy Cray. So Supercar Ray, has he been overtaken by Art Connor? Oh, it's close between the two of them. Let's see, Supercar Ray. So Art Connor is ahead of him. Yes, he is indeed. What a drive by Connor then. I did wonder if he'd made up positions based on some of the drivers when they came in and out of the pits, and it certainly is the case. Supercar Ray behind Andy Cray once again. Art Connor then up in the 9th. There's Renville and Arms both coming in the pits. I'm assuming Renville's got damage the way his lights are flashing. Wouldn't be doing that under normal circumstances, so I think that Lexus has got damaged. Milden down there on the enviable task of getting blue flagged past the first of the cars. That is your Oulton that he's just gone past. And just as I took a quick drink there, got caught absolutely bonny. As we say, that was a Jaguar of Lamaro, I believe. It was sideways through the chicane. There was some battling going on just ahead. Couldn't make out which car it was. I think, yeah, it was Butch and Elysium very close to one another. So we're going to see more positions change there again. Oh, and what did we almost see there? That was Butch. Where is Butch gone? There he is, there he is, there he is, there he is. Trying to get his way past Elysium then. Very close there. Jetpack and Nebula looking to get past High Grade. These two on completely different strategies. Jetpacker's been in the once already. High Grade B still to take his first pit stop right on that centre line. Of course, should get overtake done pretty quickly then. Butch looking to get past Elysium as well. Going to go for it into turn 1. Is he going to get the car rotated? You would think so. Both drivers make that through beautifully. Jetpack and Nebula still behind High Grade then. Didn't get that overtake done there. Up towards the Warsteiner and down towards Ad Van Bogen. Jetpack and Nebula really does need to get clear a High Grade B if he can. Hudson second and Rob 2K in third at the moment with Cool Racing in fourth place. It is Connor then, he's ahead of Andy and Renville and Supercar Ray. So he is on an absolutely phenomenal drive. Something's going wrong with Arms. We saw Arms coming at the pits, but it still says that he needs to take 2 mandatory pit stops. So something's gone wrong there. Butch has got the overtake done on Elysium. Yes, he has. Arms, though, what's going on there? He's not come back into the pits. Lamaro has come into the pits. In fact, he's on his way back out again. Supercar Ray catches up to Renville through the chicane. Jetpack and Nebula. It's that high grade B, it is indeed. Up the inside of turn 1. Beautifully done through the Mercedes Arena. Jetpacker up to 5th overall. All the drivers ahead of him. Still got 2 of the mandatory pit stops to take. Andy Kay in 9th, Renville in 10th, Supercar Ray in 11th, and Butch out in 12th. Art Connor now in 8th place, and with whatever ailed Arms in the pit stop, I would say that's going to be another position gained for Art Connor then. Again, not entirely sure what happened with Arms. But yeah, he's been in the pits, he's come back out, he's still got to take 2 pit stops, so he'll get a massive penalty when he crosses the line. And yeah, that's certainly going to be far more detrimental than coming in and taking on the stop. So hopefully he can get it sorted for the next time he comes in. We'd hate to see him repeat that mistake. I don't know if it's a glitch, yeah. I'm sure we'll find out in the Discord chat after the race. We're coming at the hairpin. It is Supercar Ray again trying to get his way past the Lexus of Renville. You can see just how close he's getting there through the hairpin up towards the Schumacher S. The Ferrari really does look like he's got the number on the Lexus at the moment, but just can't quite get the overtake done. Hutch comes in from up in front. Rob 2K follows him in as well. Cool Racing comes into the pits as well. Arms and High Grade B still got 2 pit stops to take, and that's High Grade B coming in to take his. Arms has stayed out. Yeah, so that just leaves. Oh, that was a bit lively. So yeah, Arms has definitely been in the pits, but one of his markers has not been removed. Milden still got 2 to take as well. So Nebula, we're about to see some big changes. We'll give this a second update of these 2. Oh, in fact, not 4, sorry, I do apologise. 4 drivers in the pits. Let's see if Milden comes in this time actually. And that is a brave pit entrance. To cut across the curbing like that. Oh. Do you even want to say that's potentially a penalty, just in case it is, and I'm cursed to the commentator them. But yeah, that did look a bit ropey on the wind there, if we're being honest. Yeah, but let's watch Jetpack and Nebula and see where he is. He's definitely shifting through the lap. Coming towards Warsteiner. Milden is still stationary. Arms in third, so those 3 as you were at the moment, certainly for Jetpacker and Arms. So Arms, yeah, whatever he did in the pits, it was slightly quicker than Jetpacker now, because he has reduced that deficit. High Grade B gets a stop go 32nd for speeding in the pit lane. And Milden survives any punishment. High Grade B around the last corner, Milden into the first corner, so he has maintained the lead and that gap. This is that's going to change surely. It's not a minute behind. Yeah, he's definitely not a minute behind. We'll let that update in a second. There's Connor, actually. He's caught right up on the back of Arms. Connor is on an absolute flyer then. He's caught back up to Arms, so this is legitimately a battle for podium positions here. I didn't realise. I don't know, has there been a mistake by other drivers, or is he just had that good? A first phase, Cool Racing, trying to get his way past Elysium. He's just recently been overtaken by Butch Tick. Oh, cool. Oh, both drivers absolutely all over the place through that final chicane. There is now a minus sign next to the clouds as well, so the rain is going to lessen. 7 degrees now, the track temperature. So it is getting colder still. 38 minutes to go, and 15 minutes from now there will be slightly less rain than has fallen, so it would appear no chance that we're going to see the track dry up. But certainly the conditions will change slightly. I think they will stay at wet. I can't see them downgrade to damp. Unless the rain just suddenly comes to a grinding halt. Art Connor looking for an overtake on Arms in the final chicane. Very brave manoeuvre in the wet. Two very compliant drivers making that one stick. That's not the final chicane, that's Warsteiner Curve. I do apologise, getting a bit darker. Slightly more difficult to see. I hope you guys can still see that on stream. Plenty of tail light action, but Art Connor, what a drive he is having here. Took pole position, disconnected right at the start of the warm-up lap. Started from the back of the grid, and he is now on to the podium. High grade B coming in to take his stop go 32nd penalty. Lamaro still in the pit, so is all the racing. It looks like it could be 2 retirements there. Oh, the Mercedes Arena. The Bentley of Oulton. No, that's not the Mercedes Arena, that's Warsteiner Curve coming down towards. Oh no, that's the hairpin. Haha! It's the hairpin heading up towards the Schumacher S's final offer. Just slightly facing the wrong way there for Oulton. But he is back running again. Cool Racing within half a second of Elysium. The Mercedes looking to replicate what Butch did in the Ferrari. Rob 2K there or thereabouts as well. Art Connor. What a drive he is having. Absolutely incredible pace at the moment. 5 seconds. Sorry, 5 seconds. It is 5 seconds. He's only 5 seconds behind Jetpacker Nebula. That is insane pace that he has been shown. He was only 2/10 quicker than these guys in qualifying. So to close the gap this much after starting so far down in the race. And he's, yeah, they're all on the same pit stop. So his tyres might be wearing ever so slightly, but in these conditions the wets should last a fair amount of time. And yeah, with 35 minutes to go, he can easily pit now. Get himself some decent rubber on at the bottom of the car to get him to the end, fuel-wise as well. So it's all fallen beautifully into place there for Connor after a horrendous start through no fault of his own. So yeah, the sim racing gods have certainly seen fit to balance this one out. Milden, is he feeling the pressure then? He's got a 13-point gap up at the top of the table. And he's got a fairly healthy gap at the moment at the front of the field. Just going to see when Jetpacker Nebula crosses the start-finish line. Cool Racing coming in to take his second pit stop. 13-point gap, 13-second gap. It wasn't 13 seconds, it was right. So he's got the same gap as that. Cool Racing, I believe, is coming at the pits. It is indeed. So that is Milden's teammate very quickly getting himself out of the way to let Jetpacker Nebula crack on. But yeah, that 13-point gap could Milden. Can we start talking about championship aspirations? It is the final stint of the final race of a 10-race series. He's found himself on the podium 5 times this series. It's a feat only matched by one other driver. It's Jetpacker Nebula. Which is why these two are separated by only 13 points, and there's 30 points back to third place, which is Rob 2K. He is under threat though from Cool Racing. He's got both his pit stops done. This high grade B, in fact, too rapid. He's not long been into the pit, so he's done two very quick pit stops. There is your Oulton coming past the pit entrance. So high grade B waited almost an hour to take his first pit stop. Waited less than 2 laps to get that second one done and out of the way. Jetpacker's found himself a cheeky little second, although I think Milden, just making his way past blue flag traffic would explain the drop in the 1 second between the time differentials. For the Taylor Supercar race, still hunting down Renville. The Lexus still got the upper hand over the Ferrari, not quite able to craft out an overtake still. Lamaro and Aldi Racing unfortunately retiring from the race. Cool Racing through Advan Bogan. He is green to go to the end, although on that gravel, definitely not an optimum time, that's for sure. Supercar Ray at 7th place still, trying to get his way past Renville there. Andy Cray and Arms just ahead. Arms, of course, going to be the big loser here. He is in 7th. Overall in the championship with Supercar Ray, Hutch, Kajitakos and all the racing not far behind. Elysium as well, and he is going to have to come into the pits and take another 2 stops, unless there is a mechanism, unless he's recorded or something. I don't know if there's a known pit glitch. Perhaps he could go to steers. Cool Racing back into the pits, so he's taking these 2 mandatory pit stops and he is back in. A lot of drivers making 3 stops this evening. You've Oulton, of course, pitted at the end of lap number 1. Didn't fulfill any of his mandatory requirements, so he had to come back in to take the first of those mandatory stops. But yeah, Cool Racing back in the pits, hopefully not a retirement. Ollie RSR coming in. Hopefully that's just to get his second pit stop done. Let's see how Milton's getting on at the front. Still maintaining that gap. Did lose a second going past some blue flag traffic, but 12.4 still is the gap. Pretty much the same since when we last looked in. There's another blue flag as it's just going past Supercar Ray. In this Ferrari, still trying to get his way past Renville, which is lurking with intent in the background. Through the Schumacher S, they're going to come down towards Advan Bogan once again, really on that drainage ditch on the right hand side, curb on the left, not using the curb on the right, which is a very sensible idea in these conditions. Does on the apex on the way down the hill through Advan Bogan. How far we talk? 5/10. That does look like that's been extended a bit. And there's Jetpacker Nebula. He's coming to take his second pit stop. Hey Sean, what's up, bud? Yeah, I've seen you retire, mate. Was it damage or what happened? If it's a stewards thing though, yeah, keep it for the stewards office, obviously, but you what's been going on, bud? Oh, the server is set up wrong for mandatory pits. Right, okay. Right, so, yeah, I saw you Oulton come in on the first lap. I've had to close Discord, mate. I had an absolute horror show again. There's just some problem with streaming PS5 through capture cards these days, so I've had that in Discord closing up. So I've closed it. I pitted lap 2 for a splash, but it never counted. Right, so Supercar race really close. I'm actually scared to open it and look because it is slightly different. I know. So it's tyres. So what? Yeah. So the two mandatory pit stops. If it's a normal race, tyres are required and fuel is allowed. It's saying you need to select tyres at each stop. Right, okay. Yeah, there's not actually any confirmation there, but yeah, it looks like it's caught out with a couple of drivers then. There's R10 coming in to take his second pit stop, so hopefully drivers have got the information. I'm genuinely scared to open Discord and have a look in case it shuts down remotely again. But the information on Discord says tyres are not mandatory. Alright, okay. Yeah, it's so easily done, man, especially when you're using places like T-Portal and stuff for the servers. One little bit of information doesn't stick. It's like the titles on Twitch. Anytime you're streaming on Twitch, it takes the old thingies. Big up the FRL admins. Considering how much they've got running, they seem they're doing a not too shabby a job, it has to be said. Yeah, it's definitely a frustrating mistake, and I'm sure there'll be apologies, but yeah, given the amount of the racing they've got going on. Yeah, no, Sean, it definitely is. I've heard that before, where something had changed about the mandatories, and some people stuck to what was supposed to happen, and some people did what the server said, and oh, it was absolute carnage. And that was a race I was doing on PC where there was prize money involved. Oh my days. So yeah, definitely feel your pain, but definitely feel your pain. You're right. There is, it's really, really, really annoying. And stuff like that. But to err is human, to forgive divine. So yeah, we will crack on with the coverage as is, and we'll see which drivers do manage to get themselves sorted out and keep the race running to the end and fulfil the now or the slightly changed mandatory requirements. Supercat Ray and Renville, fascinating battle between these two. Has been going on for most of the race. Supercat Ray still keeping himself very, very, very close indeed. Won't be losing it too much in the slipstream, the dirty air won't be having as much effect as it normally would in dry conditions. Jetpacker, Nebula and Art Corner are now separated by only 1.3 seconds. That has totally slipped under my radar as we were catching up on the pit stops there. So this is the battle for second place. Art Corner's pace around here has been absolutely otherworldly. Like, that is just crazy, crazy, crazy quick compared to everybody else out here. Crazy quick. Oh, has he got past? He has indeed. We've missed it just as I looked down there. Apologies, Supercar. He's been lining that one up for 30 laps. Finally gets it done, and we did indeed miss it, but he has got himself ahead of Renville then. So that is an improvement in position for the patient Ferrari driver down in the hairpin. Yeah, like I say, it took him a while to get that one done, but he did get it done. Really sorry I missed it. I'm not going to hit replay in case it's broken. It's broken on here as it is on the PS4 version. But that was, of course, where we're watching the potential battle between Jetpack and Nebula and Art Corner, the battle for second place with no arms. He's fallen foul of the pit stop mix-up. He has been into the pits, but he's found himself. But he has been into the pits, but he's still got a 2 next to his name, having not fulfilled the new requirements. So we'll see what potentially he'll have a video of that and maybe just see if he can get the Stewards to wipe his penalty off at the end. We will find out. Although, yeah, it's never catch-22. Drivers really should adhere to what the in-server rules are, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say what the drivers should adhere to because it's, yeah. I've been in this position before and it is a tough one. You expect the conditions to be one thing and then jump in and another, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure Arms won't be very happy falling foul of the mistake, but he is in second at the moment, so we'll see what happens. He does definitely have one more pit stop to take mandatorily. This Rob 2K coming in to take his stop. This will be his second. Jetpack and Nebula in that corner. Now a big gap between them actually. Just coming through blue flag traffic, I believe. Oh no, Elysium just behind him in fact. Red Ken Racing still in limit. Oh, just catches a bit of gravel through the Schumacher-esque. Hangs onto that one nicely though. Hutch. High grade B, Oulton. All fulfilled their mandatory stops so far. There's Rob 2K just coming in to take his. In fact, just coming out again. And he's still got a one. Nightmare. Right, let me just see. I'm going to be very brave. I'm going to open Discord and see if we can see. Just a little look, there is. Yeah, so non-official in the Discord at the moment about it, unfortunately. Right, look at it, but yeah. That's fine. Yeah, we've got 20 minutes left to go. Sorry, it's been a bit of a stop-start one this evening. With all the ups and downs, technical issues being taken the centre, unfortunately, but it should really be milled in the drive he's putting in, although R10 as well, he has caught right up onto the back of Jetpack and Nebula. In fact, since we last checked, the whole 2.2 seconds, so he really is applying the pressure and looking for that overall second place. I'll tell you, that will certainly not something that will grieve Milden much. He's got a 13-point gap over Jetpack and Nebula, so he knows he needs to at least finish ahead of him. If there's another car between the two of them, that certainly eases his worries as far as the points deficit goes. It looks like he could be crowned the Season 6 champion. Still 20 minutes to go at a rainy Nurburgring. The rain is lessening slightly, but it certainly doesn't look like the track is going to dry up much in the final 20 minutes. We'll stay on board here and watch these two. It is still Milden leading the way, but Arms in second. He does still have at least one pit stop to take. Andy Cray in third, Super Cartwright in fourth, Renville in fifth. Then it's Jetpack and Nebula and Art Connor, 6th and 7th at the moment. But we know that this is the battle for second place. Elysium just down the road with Rod 2K. closing in there as well. Oh, nice and close to that barrier. Butch got both mandatory stops done, so has Ollie and Red Ken Racing. Oh no, sorry, Ollie and Red Ken Racing, they've still got one each to take. Hutch, High Grade and Oulton all got theirs done and dusted. Connor then, this is where it's at the moment, just exiting the Mercedes arena. It is still Connor chasing Jet Packer Nebula. Sorry, I've got to be honest, I brutally bit my tongue just before the start. So I keep stopping it against a bit of ice. The joys, but yeah. Moral of the story, don't try and go down food for a broadcast. And you could do yourself an injury. Art Connor, look at the pace he's got out with the S's. Out with the Schumacher S, that's phenomenal. Aston's going to have a look right up the inside down. Very little jetpacker now that they can do in the course. Nice and easy overtake in the end by Art Connor. And he's leaving them both standing. That is another car. They've just gone past. They've got a yellow flag as well. Oh, that's Red Ken. And he's gone full return to garage, unfortunately. So he maybe picked up some damage there. Jetpacker Nebula through the final chicane and into the Coca-Cola curve, and now finds himself 7th on track and 3rd overall. As Art Connor, what a drive! I'd love to be able to see his lap times. He must be absolutely flying. Is he a threat to Mildon's lead of the race? We're going to find out. Definitely within the next 16 minutes and 6 seconds. Is that when the pit window closes and Mildon has still got one stop to take? I know there's been a bit of a mix-up with the mandatory requirements for this race. Arms looks like he's fallen. He's one of the drivers that's fallen foul of that. He's still got it, still showing him as having 2 pit stops to take. As far as he was concerned, he obviously thought he was fulfilling one of those requirements on his first stop. Turns out it's not the case. So he's definitely got to come in at least once more. If he comes in once more and completes one of them, he'll only get a penalty for 1 stop, and if he comes in again for 2, so yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see whether he comes in, takes 1 and then takes it to the stewards, or comes in and takes both and just takes the hit. We'll find out. Jetpacker Nebula has been shown the cleanest pair of heels by Art Connor in the Aston Martin. Already over a second between them since the overtake took place. What do you think about that one there? Oulton currently running 15th. We've had Cool Racing, Lamaro, Ollie Racing all retire, unfortunately. Oulton in 15th, High Grade in 14th, Hutch in 13th place. Red Ken back out on track, love to see it. Ollie RSR in 11th, Butch in 10th, and it's Rob 2K and Elysium in 8th and 9th, Jetpack and Nebula in 7th, Art Connor in 6th place, Renville in 5th, and then it's Supercar Ray in 4th at the moment. Is closing in a bit on Andy Cray, but over the next 15 minutes, not quite sure it's going to be enough to threaten him, especially with another pit stop to take, but we will see, because he is just coming into the hairpin himself now. Currently on track in 3rd, Arms in 2nd, still Mildon in that 1st place. Is he going to come in and take his pits? 14 minutes left to go. We know he likes a late pit entry. Not to be this time round. He knows the championship is firmly in his hands. Right, okay. I thought I saw someone move down order, but it was not. There's Ollie RSR. He's coming out to take his final pit stop. Red Ken is just coming up to the back. Is that? is Jetpack and Nebula is coming up just behind. So that is getting close again. Ollie RSR still pulling into his pit lane then. Jetpacker, how they say, he's got Red Ken just behind him. Ken's got to take that other pit stop though. So does Hutch, high grade Oulton. Will they make up any positions as well through the final pit stop phases? We will see. It's getting darker, it's still 7 degrees, the rain's still lessening ever so slightly, but not by much. Still plenty standing water on the screen, as you can see. So still plenty that can happen in the closing 13 minutes. We've still got plenty of pit stops to take as well. All the RSR looking to get rid of the last one that he's required to take. In towards Warsteiner once again. We are still on board with the race and championship leader, champion-elect, if you will. That 13-point gap. I'm obsessed with the 13 second. The 13-point gap he has over the rest of the field, namely Jetpack and Nebula, will be extended. He's ahead of Nebula and he's got Connor between himself and the championship number 2. Big question really is Connor really that, I mean, he is really that quick. Is he quick enough to catch up to Milden? I'm just looking at this gap then, because when Jetpack and Nebula was, I'm trying to think how far behind Milden he was when he came into the pits, because there's now 6 seconds between Connor and Nebula. There was only 2.5, 3 tenths separating Connor and Milden in qualifying. So has Connor really put in that much of an Olympic level drive? He is potentially going to take the lead. Now see, 10 seconds is the gap. I'll tell you what, Milden I think is under real threat here to win this race. Arms comes past the pits, so does Andy Cray. Supercar Ray comes in, it means he's going to have to get his way past Renville again, but Renville will have that pit stop still to take as well. At Connor then, I'd love to get a look at these lap times and see just exactly what's going on with Connor and Milden, but Connor is absolutely flying. Absolute drive of the season at the moment. 10.5 second gap still back to Jetpack or Nebula. And Milden is being asked some very big questions at the moment. 11 minutes to go, 10 minutes left on the pit window. Let's stay on board with Milden in sector number 3. Coming down through Warsteiner, down towards Ad Van Bogen once again. High speed section of the track, even in these conditions. Definitely don't want to touch that curb on the right. Into the final chicane. Mercedes over the curves like they're not there. No pit stop for Milden on this one then. Arms a fair chunk down the road through the standing water just before the bridge there. Absolute nightmare that puddle is. I can tell you that from personal experience. Renville in 4th still. Supercar Ray. He's fallen foul. No, was it Butch? Supercar Ray did just come into pits, didn't he? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. He's fallen foul on the glitch as well by the look of it then, unfortunately. That is not good for him. Absolutely not good at all. Okay. Yeah, a few drivers with that glitch, unfortunately, so we'll see how the rest of them deal with it. There's Andy Cray coming out in the pits. The lights on the license flashed again. I'm only ever used to that happening when the car's got damaged, but there he's pulling into his pit box. You can hear that rain absolutely hammering down still. Renville Where is he now? Down the hill? Oh, Mercedes Arena. He's just making his way through. Really is getting very dark out there on track. Connor coming along the start-finish straight. He's going to get past Andy, or is he? It's going to be close. Yeah, there's Andy come back out. And he's still got a 1 next to his name as well. Just a super kart rate. Oh, and he's run deep and he's 360'd it completely on the gravel. Into turn number 1. Oh, he's going to be careful there, and that's Jetpacker Nebula got his way through there. Super kart Ray then. Let's have a look. Yeah, right, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to tell exactly what's going on, because some of the drivers are doing what they following the rules as they believe them to be when the event was set up, but the server rules, the pit stop requirements have changed. So some of the drivers are going to fall foul of the penalties. Certainly wouldn't want to be the one who's got to clear this one up after the race, if I'm being brutally honest. So yeah, some of the drivers are going to get a penalty for not meeting the mandatory requirements, so we'll see how that settle things out. At the moment, Art Connor, Jetpacker Nebula and FRL Milden are all on course to finish the race with a green bar next to their name. I'd imagine Milden is going to do everything he can to adhere to as many rules as possible, given that this is a championship battle that he's in with Jetpacker Nebula, and Jetpacker does have that green bar next to his name. So does Art Connor, who's made his way past Andy Cray, who's come back out the pit. Super kart Ray just coming down towards Van Bogen. Their Jetpacker Nebula is just exiting. There's Arms into the pits for the second time of asking. Okay, so Arms hasn't changed tyres at all. Hasn't met, so still got 2, so that's going to be a very big penalty applied by the in-game stewards. What interesting to see, he is that just ahead? It is, so he's actually just ahead of Art Connor then. So he is still in the running for second. We know he's going to get slapped with a penalty by the in-game stewards. We'll see what happens with the overall race stewards. So Renville in second on track. FRL Milden leading the way 6 minutes. He's got 5.5 minutes to come in and take another pit stop. Doesn't do so on this lap. So yeah, I'm just looking at the championship standings, and it's going to be all kinds of fun. Art Connor all over the back of Arms then. So Arms didn't meet any of the requirements, so does that mean he's not changed tyres at all? Or has he done fuel on one stop, only tyres on the other? Yeah, only he will know. But having that 2 next to his name when he crosses the line is going to give a massive time penalty. Connor is going to be looking to get this overtake done on track. 5 minutes left to go, and it's Milden still leading the way. And he is just coming down towards the hairpin. Renville second, Arms third. Connor in 4th, Andy Cray in 5th, Jetpacker Nebula in 6th, Superkart Race 7th, Rob 2K in 8th, Elysium in 9th, and Butch in 10th place. It's Ollie RSR in 11th, Red Ken Racing in 12th, Hudson 13th, High Grade B in 14th place, and you've Oulton currently in 15th position. Lamaro has come back out on track to finish the race. Great to see a few laps down, but is going to finish this one out. Connor and Arms then. Oh, that was a brave entrance into turn number 1 there. Connor trying to get this podium position taken from Arms. That is really dark. I hope you guys can make that out slightly. It's certainly showing up as dark on the screen that I've got here, but hopefully you guys can just about make that out. You can see the rain, despite the minus sign, the rain hasn't really lessened much, but still plenty of standing water. There's Superkart Ray come back in the pits. Rob 2K is going to come through, and there is race leader Milden. He's coming to take his pit stop. So it's going to be a long stretch then, but Arms, let's see how close. We're talking about how quick a race. Well, I mean, it's still a quick race that R10's run. He started in 21st position. So yeah, Arms has run a few good, has run some good laps as well, but R10 definitely getting the pickup for driver of the day. I think alien of the week. Tomorrow night's podcast will be more than fairly warranted. Just coming through Warsteiner now, so this is down towards Advan Bogen. They'll be facing this final chicane very soon. There's Milden stationary. There's Art Connor very quickly moving. There's Renville coming into the pit, so he is going to drop back down the order as these drivers come through into the final chicane. It is Connor and Arms. There is Milden moving, and he's in the pit box number 2, so he is back out and running very quickly indeed through the last corner. Connor getting very close indeed to the Audi. Oh, and I tell you what, look at the eggs he's got. Seemed to lift twice there. Connor, I tell you, let's have a look and see how close he was, because him and Arms are just down. Renville's going to drop out that timing board at the moment. There he is coming out. Andy Cray is through. Jet Parker Nebula. As he made his way past up, there he is on the exit road there. So Renville's got himself ahead of Jet Parker Nebula as well. So we'll have to wait and see. It's shown that Milden is through. Oh, and Arms has been overtaken, and we've just missed that when their corners got it done on the exit to the Mercedes arena. Beautifully crafted there. Arms now finds himself in third. Renville is going to drop down the order. He's got someone just behind him. Milden then. What is the gap between himself and Connor? That's what we need to see. And was Connor held up enough by Arms to give Milden the victory? Only 2 minutes left. So a near flawless, or pretty flawless race from Milden. Great drive from Connor as well. 15 seconds behind, so might have made up a bit of time if he didn't have the battle arms. There's Supercar Ray coming back in the pits again, trying to get those mandatory requirements cleared. Jet Parker Nebula. He's on the back of Renville. Could he get the on-track overtake done before the end of the race? They're going to have at least 1 more, 1 minute 30 left on the race timer. So Milden does have another lap to traverse. Corner through Advan Bogen, approaching the last chicane. Milden already out the last corner. So that gap's going to easily be over 12 seconds, 14.5 seconds. So Connor has closed up slightly, but the start of the final lap, it is FRL Milden in the Mercedes, champion-elect, about to find his way onto the top spot of the podium, and straight into the announcement that he's going to be the Season 6 champion. Supercar Ray found another bug in the game, got it. Ah, nightmare, oh nightmares. There we go. Someone in the pits when the winner leader is about to win the race. Jet Parker Nebula still trying to get his way past Renville. So Jet Parker really tumbling down the order despite. Well, he started in 7th. He made his way up to 2nd very quickly off the start line. But tumbling back down the order through the pit stop phases. But it is the Milden Masterclass in the Mercedes that's going to bring home the victory. Is Jet Parker going to get this overtake done? Into the dying stages of the race. This is through the Schumacher S, so not long ago then, for Milden to take the checkered flag. Corner in 2nd place. Phenomenal drive there. Arms and Andy Cray 4th and 5th. Renville and Jet Parker Nebula. Potentially position changes there. They're into the hairpin. The Porsche looking flat. Let's see how Milden's looking down into Advan Bogen. Flashing on the light because he knows that he's on screen. Champion elect. So the Taco Tuesday Season 6 Formula Racing League champion will indeed be FRL's very own Milden. in the Mercedes, and I believe, although Cool's in the pits, I do still think that the SBR AKKA Mercedes team have done enough to win the PS5 Team Championship as well. There is Milden taking the checkered flag, 43 very wet laps after we've started. And there we go, 10 rounds in. Milden is declared the champion. Art Corner, what a drive. Got back to within 12 seconds of the leader after starting in 21st position. Brings home second. There's Arms then, he will be given that penalty. And yeah, this is where we'll have to let the FRL admin get this one sorted out. Obviously some drivers crossed the line with a change in mandatory requirements on the pit stops. They've found themselves with penalties. But Jet Parker didn't quite manage to get the overtake done on Renville. 310s separated them across the line. Rob 2K is going to come over the line in 7th, but again penalties to be added there, and to Elysium in 8th place. Butch, there is Elysium coming at the final corner, so Elysium going to get a penalty as well. So yeah, we'll have to see how this one all plays out. The Discord, I'm sure, will be alive, and any relevant notifications will be made in there. The final standings will be confirmed, but he did cross the line without a penalty, so it's safe to say that FRL Milden has most definitely won the day and brought himself home that championship win, so congratulations there. I think Jetpack and Nebula is just about held on to second place there, and it is going to be close corner with that great result. Means it could be a bit closer. Supercar Ray struggling ever so slightly. Wrong brake pads. Maybe Red Ken Racing finishing in 13th. He did get his mandatory requirements cleared as well, so he will be the final driver across the line and take the checkered flag and round out the 10-week championship. We will have a look at the timetables and a quick check on the result, and you can see it is, we won't touch any of the penalty drivers, but we do know that Milden, Art Corner finished first and second. Beyond that, we will let the stewards work that one all out. I think it's safe to say, but we'll bring up the highlights while we are waiting. Sorry, I'll bring up the highlights just before we close out. So yeah, phenomenal season there. A few tech issues, but we got there eventually. And a great 10-week series. Another trip onto the podium for Milden. 6 podiums from 10 races. Not too shabby a ratio of races to podiums that sees him rightfully crowned the championship. Crowned the champion. I'm sure he will be back next season to defend that. Nope, that's gone wrong, and that's gone wrong. Excellent. There we go. So yeah, we'll pop up the highlights of this again. Apologies to any of the drivers. I'm sure the admins, it would be obvious there have been an honest and genuine mistake which led to the problem with those pit stops. But I'm sure they'll do what they can to make sure everyone is treated fairly and evenly. Thank you to everyone that took part in the series. All the drivers, we've seen some names dropping in and out over the way, but some pretty consistent drives from all the drivers right across the series. Great to see so many taking part in console still. Thank you to everybody that hit that thumbs up on the broadcast. And if you want to get involved in any of FRL's racing, you can jump on to the Discord. PS4, PS5 and PC is where it's happening. Of course, if you jump on to SimGrid, you can give them a follow on there and keep up to date with all the events they've got coming your way. And as you saw from the opening slide, there was quite a few, so make sure you get yourself involved. A big thank you to everyone who was in the chat this evening and have been over the 6 weeks. I've been fortunate enough to be broadcasting this for you. But that is all we have for season number 6. 10 rounds in the bag. Finished with an exciting 19 minutes at the Nurburgring in the rain. And it's all rounded out with Milden being crowned the champion. So again, massive congratulations to him. Of course, you can subscribe. There will be more wrestling coming on YouTube and Twitch, and there will of course be the FRL podcast tomorrow night on Twitch, so make sure you get yourself tuned in to that. But for season 6, that was all we have, so thank you very much for your time, and until we next meet, stay safe, take it easy, and have a good